losing weight. I'm literally doing everything right, eating less, exercising, yet I'm gaining weight. Well, in today's video, I am going to be decoding the science of eating, which the food industry has been hiding from us for far too long, and also talk about how you can change your health around in just 1 month. Let's talk about food which explains about 70% of our weight as compared to exercise, which can only alter about 30% of our weight. That's not to say that exercising is not important, but it also means that you might be focusing on exercising a lot more than you need to. But before I debunk the dietary theories of the world that are being propagated in our day-to-day and even through social media, let's talk about some of the diets that we hear so often and maybe what the issue is with them. So after researching about hundreds of diets, I can summarize all theories around 3 main areas: what, how, and when. So let's just talk about this for a minute. What includes? What are your sources of energy? Is it fat? Is it carbohydrates? Or is it proteins? How are you balancing all these sources of energy, and in what ratios? Some will say keep 40% of protein, while other diets may focus more on carbs and fats. It literally changes with each diet, but we will talk about the hypocrisy of the collective dietary theories in some time. And lastly, let's talk about when to eat, which can go from not eating about 14 to 20 hours for intermittent fasting to 6 small meals in a day for an abs diet. Now, I'm sure you already see the conflicting concepts in these theories, but that's the problem. There can be as many diets in the world as there are people. And while some of these diets may work, 95% of people who actually diet will gain all of their weight back within 1 year of the diet. So what is the issue with these meal plans, and more importantly, what is missing? But before I share with you what works today, I'm going to challenge you to take a chance with me. Consider this day 1 of your challenge, and believe you me, within 30 days of this challenge, you will have come closer to your goal weight just a little bit. So if you stick through these fairly easy 4 steps for just a little bit longer, maybe you will be able to transform your body around. I am now going to share with you the 4-step process, but let me be serious and frank with you. All of these steps are very important, and since they're just 4, it's very easy to remember and also follow. Let's get to point number 1. How are you eating? Yep, it's the least talked about concept, but extremely important to decide what your body will look like. Let's get a little bit into the science of it. Now, the autonomic nervous system is the most influential when it comes to the gastrointestinal functions of our body. But there are 2 types of autonomic nervous system. It's the sympathetic and the parasympathetic. Now, let's just take an example. Think of sympathetic as the bear in your life. The moment you see it, you've got to run. Well, the sympathetic nervous system is activated in times of stress, excitement, or even emergency. So you've got to keep the bear at a distance. Now let's talk about the panda, which is the parasympathetic nervous system. This is also sometimes referred to the rest and digest system, which makes sense for a panda because aren't they always eating and sleeping? Well, when the parasympathetic nervous system is active, it conserves energy. It's almost like the panda. It slows your heart rate, it enhances your digestion, and allows the body to focus on activities like rest, digest, and repair. Now let me ask you this: which system do you want to activate when eating? Well, if it isn't obvious, it's the parasympathetic nervous system, but that's not what we normally do. Every time you eat in a hurry, you're stressed while eating, or you don't really engage all of your senses towards your food, you are sending blood away from your stomach to focus your energy on an external perceived threat or terror. Now, because your body is not really digesting the food properly, it is going to lead to fat accumulation. So here's challenge number 1. Let's start our 20-minute meal plan. So for 20 minutes a meal, you are going to spend all of your focus on the food, engage all of your senses towards the food. So you're going to see it, smell it, touch it, taste it, and even hear yourself chew each bite. And this would mean slowing down your eating too. And believe me, you may not be able to stretch your first try of the technique to the 20-minute mark, because let's be frank, we all eat our meals within about 7 to 10 minutes. But if you practice it, your body will start to digest better. Let's get to point number 2. What is your relationship with food? Is it merely sustenance for you to eat 3 meals a day? Or is it like an emotional comfort or just plain habit? Let's get to the basics here. Years ago, food was just nourishment, so we did not have the over-processed or even pre-packaged foods that we have today, but we also didn't attach emotional meaning to our food. Despite our circumstances moving away from the scarcity of food towards the today of abundance of food, our mindset of food scarcity hasn't really changed much, which is why we rush through our food just like the bullet train. For the first time in human history, there are many more people dying by eating too much than eating less. And sugar is killing more people today than any other cause of death. Well, now that the age-old habit of finishing the plate may not seem such a good idea, so put the leftover in the refrigerator for your next meal. So here is my challenge number 2. Eat until you're only 80% full. Since you will be eating slower, your body will start to develop awareness of fullness earlier, so you can stop when your initial hunger is satisfied. Let's get to point number 3, which is everybody is unique. But that also means we already have the innate wisdom and knowledge of what, how, and when to eat. All of it inside of us to get us to our ideal weight. So let's use that. See what vegetables, fruits, meats, or breads you love in their most raw form. Let's focus on our cravings, aversions, hunger, fullness over fad diets, modern lifestyles, stress, and even emotional triggers. And let's follow the circadian rhythm, which means larger meals in the day, maybe your breakfast or your lunch, and much petite ones at night. So we are more in coordination with our individual biological and behavioral patterns. So here is challenge number 3. This means we will be eating with the sun. So eating between 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and also listening to our body's cues in the next 1 month instead of external factors like that pizza advertisement that made you do some late night ordering. Now that we're at point number 4, let's look at the 30% of weight that is explained by exercise. Now the problem with exercise is that either we don't have the time or the motivation to get out there and make an effort. So under exercising makes us feel tired and sluggish, while over-exercising, which is rare, depletes the body of essential salts. So let's change exercise to things that we actually like. What if you like dancing but haven't gone back to it in years? Get back to it today and make it your movement. So you're dancing till you're sweaty but also happy. What about hiking or gardening? Each of these activities can actually help you stay your fit self and bring back movement into your life. So here is challenge number 4. Let's add at least 1 movement a day for the next 30 days, whether it is your 10,000 steps a day or even hula hooping. Make it your own. Now here was the rundown of your 1-month challenge, and if you are starting just today, remember, food is not the enemy and nor is exercise. It's how we approach our body that needs an overhaul. Alright ladies and gentlemen, I will see you in my next video next week, but until then, you take care, love yourself and stay strong. Bye.